Hindi niya papalitan yung storya. Ito yung storya. Tayong gumawa ng storya, tayong mga mamayan. Tapos maghahanap tayo kung sinong akma dito. Tapos kung meron magsasabi, gusto ko yan, yan ang gagawin ko. Kausapin natin, tignan natin kung talagang siya. Hindi po ba? No?
How do we know, Chairman, which program or which story we should follow as a
Well, we have to have a program. Hindi tayo blanco. Tayo mga taong bayan. Kayo po, alam niyo na ang problema natin.
Those who watch us.
Hindi lang po lahat. Maski ng buong Pilipinas. Alam na natin ang problema natin. Ano po ba yung problema yung pinakamabigat ngayon? Hindi ba po yung napakahirap ng buhay? Maski na mahirap ka, hindi ka masyadong mahirap, at medyo may kakayanan ka na. Alam nyo, ang pinakamabigat nating suliranin sa pamumuhay, ang pagbabayad sa pinakamahal na kuryente sa buong mundo. Pagbabayad sa pinakamahal na tubig sa buong mundo. Ito ang mabigat na pasan ng mga mamayang Pilipino. Tapos, alam din natin, dahil napakamahal niyan, walang pumapasok na tunay na negosyante kasi Pilipino o dayuhan para magtayo ng mga pabrika dito. Bakit? Dahil napakamahal ng kuryente nyo, napakamahal ng tubig nyo at iba pa. No? Yan ang tunay na problema natin. Na simple lang yan. Magtanong kayo po sa kapitbahay ninyo. Payag ba kayo? Nakikita nyo na ba na napakabigat ng magbabayad natin sa kuryente? Oo. Alam nyo ba na ang singil sa atin pinakamahal sa buong mundo? Hindi pa po. Pero ngayon alam ko na. Papayag ka bang ibabayan? Kung may paraan na ibababa ang gobyerno. Siyempre po, almost 100%. Sira na ang ulo magsasabi, hindi, okay ako dyan sa mataas na kuryente.
Gusto ko magbayad.
Yan, tubig na yan. Maski nang minsan walang tubig, babayad ako.
Walang.
Medyo sira na ulo po ng ganyan. Hindi po ba? No? Now, ang kala kasi ng mga iba, itong mga tauhan ng mga oligarko, ang sinasabi nila, ay pag tinanggal mo yung mga oligarko, kayo din ang may irapan. Di po totoo yun. Pangluloko. Para ka na lang tinakot nila ng kapre. Oy, may kapre dyan. No? Kailangan matakot. Wag po ganyan. No? May kakayanan ang ating bansa. May kakayanan ang mamamayang Pilipino. May kakayanan ang ating gobyerno. May nakasaad po sa ating saligang batas.
Yes.
Ang sinasabi sa saligang batas, Artikulo 12, Section 17 and 18. 17, ang sinasabi po, pag may sakuna, when in the times of national crisis, no, the state must declare a state of emergency to take over the public utilities that are being run by different corporations. To take over at least temporarily the public utilities. Sinasabi yan, public utilities. Ano ba ang public utility? Kuryente, tubig, telecom, diba? But ibig nila sabihin, i-take over para ibaba ang halaga ng singil. Ng singil. Para matulungan ang taong bayan. Yan po ang dahilan. At hanggang ngayon, hindi pa po natin ginagawa yan. Dahil natatakot tayo, sinabi nila, sige, pag umalis yung mga oligarkong yan, kayo din ang bahala. Mas mabuti po. Kasi itong lahat na ito, kaya pong patakbuhin natin. Marami tayong magagaling na inhinyero.
Ginawa na natin dati.
Ginawa natin.
Oh.
Panahon ni Marcos, wala pong mga oligarkong ganitong nagpapatakbo nito. Ang nagbigay lang niyan, nagpumpisa, si Corazon Aquino, si Fidel Ramos at si Gloria Macapagal-Arroyo. At siyempre, itong mga ibang presidente na. Hanggang ngayon po, hindi pa nabubuwag ni Duterte ito.
Yep. So, again, nagawa na natin even before Marcos, di ba? Nagawa na natin. Marami pong problema. Di ayusin natin. Hindi pa maganda yung magpapatakbo, ayusin natin. Bakit? Ngayon ba maganda?
That's right.
Pribado na eh. Bakit? Lahat masaya ba kayo sa water supply? Hindi naman, di ba?
Right.
Oh. Yung kuryente, masaya ba kayo sa binabayad nyo? Pag tumaas yung singil ng kuryente, nag-ano ba? May fragrance ba yung electricity pag bukas yun ng ilaw? Gumaganda ba yung quality ng electricity na dumadaan? Pareho lang yan, di ba? Ba't tumataas yung presyo? So I'm saying, what yung sinasabi po ni Chairman, nandiyan na po yung ating script. Kailangan maghanap tayo ng taong gagawa ng kailangan gawin para sa
isang tanong lang po, itong mga gustong tumakbong presidente, nag-iisip at mag-inuudyukan sila ng mga tauhan nila. Madam Sara, Sir Bongbong, o kung sino man pa ang gustong tumakbo. Kayo ba, pag naging presidente ba kayo, bubuwagin nyo ang hawak ng oligarko sa public utilities? Para maibaba natin ang halaga niyan. Tanong nyo, diretso. Oo, hindi lang naman yan eh. Pag binagyan ka ng palugoy-lugoy na ganyan,
hindi na.
Kalimutan nyo na, binobola ka lang. Oo, hindi lang yan eh. Yes or no. And are you ready to make that commitment to the people?
Actually now, yung ating leadership, alam na natin yung sagot. Diba?
Si Presidente Duterte, kampanya pa lang sinasabi niya, lalabanan niya yung mga yan eh.
Yes.
Tapos, nung discover niya, at sabi niya pa noon, ang nakawan dyan ay nasa taas sa mga oligarko. Sabi niya, yung mga sa customs, sa mga yan, sinsilyo lang yan, barya lang yan. Sa customs, biyaya.
Yeah.
Pero ang nakawan na malalaki dyan, ang ibig na sabihin itong mga oligarko. Ayan.
So alam niya.
4 na taon na, no? Nung last year lang, na-discover nga, nagnanakaw halos 1 trilyon na itong mga oligarko sa tubig. 1 trilyon. Sabi niya, syndicated crime. Ikukulong ko yan, mga PUTA na yan, PI na yan. Pag nakasalubong ko yan, pagsasampalin ko yan. Yun ang sabi niya last year, December 3. Diyan sa tungkol kila Ayala at Pangilinan. O ano ngayon? Magdi-December na, wala pa siyang gagawin doon.
Saka lalo na, just because nag-COVID, lalo na dapat ginawa niya.
Of course.
Diba?
That's why we're saying state of emergency.
It's not an excuse na hindi ko magawa yan kasi nagko-contribute sila, nagbibigay tumutulong sa gobyerno.
Mr. President, sinabi mo nung isang talumpati mo na masaya ka na hindi ka man without declaring martial law, sinira mo ang oligarko na may control sa buong ekonomiya ng Pilipinas. Unang-una, hindi po totoo yun. Ang hindi pagbigay ng franchise sa mga Lopez, hindi nyo po nasira. Barya lang yan sa mga Lopezes. Ang pinagkikitaan nila tayo sa kuryente at sa mga tollways. Diyan tayo pinagkikitaan. Kung hindi mo alam yan, Mr. President, nakakalungkot. Pero kung alam mo at sasabihin mo sa amin na binuwag mo na yan, parang, parang linoloko mo kami, Mr. President. Pangalawa, yan pong Lopezes, isa lang yan sa mga oligarko. Mga 7 o 8 yan, mga oligarkong yan. Meron ka dyan, mga kaibigan. Sila Villar, sila Ramon Ang, sila sino pang mga Dennis Uy. Sino pa dyan ang mga kaibigan niya. Lahat yan, oligarko, Mr. President. Tubig at kuryente ang hawak niyan. Sila nagpapahirap sa bansa. Tapos, anong gagawin natin dyan? Ilang beses ka nagsasabi? Para mo bang iniiwasan mo itong Artikulo 12? And yet, that is the most important. We explained to you already that only in electricity, these 7 or 8 oligarchs collect 1.5 minimum, 1.5 trillion pesos a year. Minimum. A year. At pinakita po namin, nanggaling po yung bilang yan on the estimate that isang pamilya ang ginagastos sa kuryente ay 3,000 kada buwan. 3,000 kada buwan.
Isang pamilya.
Ang isang pamilya. 100 milyon po tayo, limang tao sa kada pamilya. Gusto sabihin, may 20 milyon, 20 million families that have to pay pinakamababa na to, 3,000 pesos per month. At 3,000 pesos per month, 20 million families is 60 billion pesos a month. Eh yung pong sinisingil natin sa mga negosyo, yung mga binabayaran ng mga restaurants at mga ibang mga negosyo pa, mas malaki pa yan dito sa konsumo ng tao. Pero hindi bali kung mas malaki, sabihin na natin doble. In other words, if they pay another 60 billion pesos a month, ang kinukubra nitong mga 8 korporasyon, 7-8 korporasyon sa taong bayan, 120 billion pesos a month. There are 12 months in 1 year. So it is 1.440 trillion pesos or 1.5 trillion pesos a year. Yan po ang halos ninanakaw nila sa atin. Kasi yung sinisingil nila 3,000 pesos a month sa pamilya, aandar po lahat itong kuryente natin. Maski na 1,000 lang ang singil nila sa tao.
Kapag patong lang nila yun.
Yung 2,000, yun po ang iniisip kong patong nila na walang tumipigil sa kanila. Ang gobyerno hindi sila pinipigil. So one should take this out, this 2,000 pesos a month from the people and make them pay only 1,000. It is as if though you gave money back to the people and back to the businesses. 1 trillion pesos put back into the economy every year. Maski gaano ka magluhod-luhod yan si Sunny Dominguez na pinagkakautangan natin sa World Bank sa ADB. Hindi po siya makakautang ng 1 trillion pesos a year. Kuryente pa lang yan. Eh kung gagawin mo yan sa tubig at sa iba pang bagay ng telecom at iba pa, mass transit system, dahil ikaw na yung gobyerno, state of emergency,
Hmm.
aabot ka ng 2 trilyon kada taon. Yan ang magpapaandar ng ating ekonomiya. Ito po ang magic vaccine for economic recovery.
Hmm.
Pag nailagay mo po ito, magkakaroon ng trabahong tao, lulusog ang kanilang katawan, no? Kakayanin nilang labanan itong mga dumadating na mga sakit. When they are healthy, they will have better immunity against the natural immunity against sickness. That's why we will be stronger as a nation and as an economy. This is the magic vaccine that you, Mr. President, so far have refused to implement, despite the fact that it is in our constitution. That's why I ask all of those people that want to become president, do you have the balls and the intelligence? Do you have the moral courage and the intelligence, to implement what we, the people, want you to do? It is not only me saying this. I can just articulate it probably better than some. And there might be others that can explain this better than me. But whatever this thing is, I know that this is what the national, this is what the nation wants. This is what the whole population wants. Because it is crazy to reject it. And you have to give in to what the people want, Mr. President. Don't make them wait too long. Because every day that we wait, thousands die. Sorry po, papasok po tayo dito dahil siyempre nagtitingin tayo in a certain way. Sinasabi po natin, si presidente natin dito, ang talagang kaharap niya, itong mga oligarko. At ang implication, ang parang
Sinasabi.
parang sinasabi ko na ang presidente natatakot na kailangan tulungan ng mamamayang Pilipino, itulak siya, suportahin siya pagbubuwag dito sa mga oligarko. Dito po sa Amerika, hindi po masyadong malayo dyan ang kinakalaban po ni Trump. Hanggang ngayon kinakalaban niya. Kanya po napakalakas ng kampanya laban sa kanya. Pero ang taong bayan, suportado si Trump. Pero itong mga oligarko, yung oligarko doon sa bansang Amerika ay higit na mas malaki at mas malakas at mas devious, no, kisa dito sa mga oligarko dito. Itong mga oligarko natin pitsugin. Pero yung kalaban ni Trump, mabibigat.
Yeah.
Dahil ang kanilang negosyo pangdaigdigan. At ang bumubuwag sa kanila at lumalaban sa kanilang kagustuhan ay si Trump. Kanya po, in a way, hindi po nagkakaiba. Ang nagkakaiba lang po, si Trump lumalaban na. Ang ating pong Pangulo, hindi pa niya linalabanan ng gusto ang oligarko.
Speaking of that, nagkaroon ng huling debate. Itong si Trump, maalala po natin yung first debate, 3 debate dapat yon. Ang first debate was with Chris Wallace. Okay? And then nagkakaano because si Trump, hindi siya papayag na magsalita ang dalawang ito, yung moderator na kakampi ni Biden, tsaka si Joe Biden, hindi siya papayag na magsinungaling sa harap ng tao. Talagang papasukan niya, i-interrupt niya po. Sasabihin niya, hindi, mali yung sinasabi mo. ano yan, sinungaling yan. So, alam mo naman yung mga debating ganito parang nakaset up na yan. O, magsalita ka muna, ito pero ang sabi ni Trump, dehado ako dito, kalaban ko, pati referee. So, syempre, kailangan pumasok ako, ina-knockout ko to. Ganon yun di ba? So, pag kalaban mo, alam mong kakampi yung referee sa kabila, kailangan lumaban ka. So, and then the second debate, dahil nga daw, magulo si Trump, sabi nila, ano daw, a virtual debate na lang daw. Syempre, mas lalong dehado si Trump. So, hindi pumayag. So, may mga...
Harap-harapan kailangan.
Kailangan harap-harapan. Bakit ayaw nyo magharap-harapan? Diba? Makita ng taong bayan, at least American citizens, kung sino ba talaga may ideas o wala. Sino ba nagsisinungaling o hindi. Huwag yung protektahan si Biden. Yan ang sinasabi niya. Okay. And then the third debate, so hindi nagkaroon ng second debate, may one-on-one, tinatawag na town hall meeting. Different stations, parang GMA tsaka TV5.
Hindi siya debate parang interview na may maraming audience.
Yes. So yun ang second.
Dadagdag ko lang dito bago tayo tumuloy dito sa third. Ang debate po sa election, lalong-lalo na sa presidential election, dito at doon, ginaya lang natin yun doon Ang naging kalakaran ay debate. Naging kalakaran ng sinong mga magkatunggali sa posisyon. Ang natatandaan ko, kasi bata pa tayo, ang unang debating nakita ko, kung nagkaroon ng debate noon sa iba, unang debate nakita ko, telebisyon, ay debate ni John F. Kennedy at si Nixon,
Richard Nixon
doon sa unang debate nila 1960. Okay. At senador po si batang-bata si John F. Kennedy tsaka si Nixon. Si Nixon mas senior na vice president siya na, di ba? Vice President si Nixon, nakaupong vice president. Si Kennedy, senador, doon sila nagdebate. At yun ang natatandaan ko. Pero yung mga debate niyan, hanggang ngayon nagkakaroon. Kanya lang, dahil dito sa mga gimmick ng mga media, kasi yung media noon, hindi naman sila ganyan. Wala silang pinapanigan noon. Talagang professional sila. Ngayon, isa-set up ka ng mga mainstream media. Yung sinasabi ng referee, parang umpire. Alam niyo po yung word umpire, di ba? Kung dalawa kayong nagbo-boxing, tapos yung umpire, kakampi nitong kalaban mo, talagang mas gusto mo, i-knock out mo na yung kalaban mo para wala nang wala nang usapan, di ba? Knockout knockdown, di ba? Yun ang gustong gawin ni Trump noon sa unang debate, di ba?
So, alam niya kasi, dehado siya. Meaning, dehado siya kasi lahat hindi sa kanya kakampi. At ipapalabas nila, parating lang ginagawa, alam mo, mainstream media, napaka-dishonest ng mga yan. So they will make Biden look good. Alam ni Trump yan going in. Pero sabi niya, hindi, kailangan. Pasok pa rin ako, laban pa rin tayo dyan. Ganon si Trump. Second debate, wala. Kasi daw,
parang interview lang na malawakan.
Malawakan. So, ganon din. Third debate, yung third and last debate, itong nakaraan. Ang ginagawa nila para hindi daw lumamang si Trump, ang ginawa daw nila, i-mute nila yung microphone pag hindi mo turn magsalita.
Sisirado nila, mute.
Para hindi ka
maski nagdadaldal ka pa, hindi ka pa tapos, no? Isesirado na nila yung mic mo.
So ang sistema ng debate, ganyan. So, okay lang, payag pa rin si Trump. Sige, laban tayo dyan. Hindi tayo uurong dyan kahit dehado, kahit mali yan. Kasi, ang nangyayari po, Pag yung nagdedebate kami, alam mong nagsisinungaling tong kalaban mo, tatahimik ka lang ba? Diba? So, sinungaling siya ng sinungaling, ang dami niya sinasabi, kailangan anuhin mo, diba? Kalabanin mo siya. Pero ang ginagawa nila, salitain siya all the time. So, the lies are going forward. Hindi makahirit tong si Trump. Tapos, pag turn na ni Trump, sasabihin nila kay Trump, 2 minutes ka lang, ha? Siyempre, gagastusin mo yung 1 minuto para sabihin sinungaling yung kabila. So, yun ang setup. Kaya nga mali. But anyway, despite that, despite yung referee, yung umpire, yung moderator ng debate, kakampi pa rin kay Biden. Ang lumalabas, sobrang landslide ang tingin ng tao na kung sino nanalo sa debateng yun. Okay? And there is a report again by our Sky News friends, right? To do this na after the debate, parang nagdadalawang isip yung mga supporters ni Biden kung siya bobotohin. Kasi nakita nila sinungaling, number 1, at nawawala siya ng malay sa debate. So nakita nila medyo labo tong kandidato natin. So
parang nawawala siya sa concentration, wala siya sa sarili. Yun kasi yun ang sakit ni Biden. Ang sabi nila, meron na siyang dementia. No?
Parang
ulianin, medyo nakakalimutan na niya at hindi na masabi yung dapat, yung gusto niyang sabihin.
Yeah, tapos marami siyang sinabi sa debate na medyo parang sinabi niya yon? Isa doon, sasarado din nila yung oil industry ng US. So, malaking issue yan. Number 1. Number 2, sabi po niya, ito hindi ako nag-iimbento, tignan niyo po sa online. Sabi niya, okay daw sila kay Hitler bago siya nag-invade ng Europe.
Magbibigay siya sa salita, Hitler was okay until of course when he invaded Europe. Pero biro mo, sasabihin mo po yun, alam mo na yung nature ni Hitler bago pa nga siya naggera. Alam niyo na po yung nature ni Hitler. Di ba pa?
So, among other things na nakita ng mga botante, kasi after that, magsa-survey sila. Tumaas daw yung mga number ng mga bumoto na early voting. Nagtumaas daw yung number na pwede bang palitan yung boto ko. Tumaas daw sa US. Parang umakyat yung nagsa-search sa online, can I change my vote? Imagine. Ibig sabihin after the debate, yung mga supporter ni Biden nagpapalit.
Gustong bumawiin.
So I think a more extensive report from our friends dito sa Sky News Australia.
Well, the debate was fascinating. So we put together just some highlights from the debate, which we'll show you now.
We can't lock ourselves up in a basement like Joe does. He has the ability to lock himself up. I don't know. He's obviously made a lot of money someplace.
People are learning to die with it. You folks home will have an empty chair at the kitchen table this morning. That man or wife going to bed tonight and reaching over to try to touch out of habit where their wife or husband is gone.
But I want to open the schools. We have to open our country. We're not going to have a country. People are losing their jobs. They're committing suicide. There's depression. Look at what's happened to New York. It's a ghost town. Talk about plexiglass. These are restaurants that are dying, and it's not the answer. I mean, you're going to sit there in a cubicle wrapped around with plastic. These are businesses that are dying, Joe. You can't do that to people. He is the vice president of the United States, and his son, his brother, and his other brother are getting rich. They're like a vacuum cleaner. They're sucking up money every place he goes.
There's a reason why he's bringing up all this malarkey. There's a reason for it. He doesn't want to talk about the substantive issues. It's not about his family and my family. It's about your family. And your family's hurting badly.
Let's get off this China thing. And then he looks, the family, around the table, everything. Just a typical politician when I see that. You're going to have socialized medicine, just like he went with fracking. We're not going to have fracking. We're going to stop fracking. We're going to stop fracking. Then he goes to Pennsylvania after he gets a nomination, where he got very lucky to get it. And he goes to Pennsylvania and he says, oh, we're going to have fracking. And you never asked that question. And by the way, so far, I respect very much the way you're handling this, I have to say.
By the way.
But somebody should ask the question. If he's elected, the stock market will crash.
Okay, let's move on to the next question.
Keep talking about all these things you're going to do, and you're going to do this. But you were there just a short time ago, and you guys did nothing.
We did.
You know, Joe, I ran because of you. I ran because of Barack Obama, because you did a poor job. If I thought you did a good job, I would have never run.
Come on. This guy has a dog whistle about as big as a foghorn.
You made a reference to Abraham Lincoln. Where did that come in? I mean,
You said
where
you're
did that-
Abraham Lincoln.
No, where did that? No.
You said-
I said not since Abraham Lincoln has anybody done what I've done for the black community.
And I'm saying-
I didn't say I'm Abraham Lincoln. You have done nothing other than the crime bill, which put
Oh, God.
tens of thousands of black men, mostly, in jail. And what about fracking?
All right,
Now we have to ask
let me
about
allow
fracking.
Vice President Biden to
I
respond.
never said I oppose fracking.
You said it on tape.
I did. Show the tape. Put it on your website.
I'll put it on.
Put it on the website. The fact of the matter is
Show
he's
the list.
flat lying.
Well, Donald Trump did put it on the website, and we're going to show it in a second, and it is devastating. I mean, basically, Joe Biden was caught out lying blatantly. But so many things, Lauren and James, in the debate, which I thought were fascinating. The key one was the way that Donald Trump managed to really get the idea that he's not a politician, that Biden is the politician, coming out with the spin and the line, oh, it's not your family, it's their family, all that stuff.
Yeah. I mean, look, he called out the Biden cynicism. I thought Biden looked physically weak there. I thought when he goes, oh, God, when he's talking about, the fracking thing and the crime bill. But I thought overall the most important thing was that Trump did what he should have done that first debate, which was to be calm, restrained, let the other guy hang themselves and just slowly push them. And that's what he did. He did a really, really good job. The other smart thing that Trump did was he did not make this all about Hunter Biden, because if he had done that, then Joe would have done the, oh, my poor son, the junkie routine, and there would have been a whole lot of sympathy for him.
Lauren?
Yeah, I think the best point Trump hits on in these debates is, why didn't you do it when you were in office for 8 years? But my favorite part about this debate overall is the fact that afterwards, can I change my vote was searched more than any other time it has been searched in Google history immediately after that debate.
Can I change my vote?
Can I change my vote? And you will never guess where. Shock. Pennsylvania was one of the top places that was searched.
Well, that's a bit of a worry, though.
Yeah,
I mean, if that's a bit of a worry that a bunch of people in Pennsylvania... By the way, Rita and I are going to be in Pennsylvania in about 2 days to find out what's happening on the ground.
Help them change their votes. Here you go.
Put it back out of the box, change it here. But it is really interesting, because I looked at the polls out of Pennsylvania the other day, and the polls right now are tighter than they were in Pennsylvania on Election Day 2016, which suggests to me that Pennsylvania is now within the margin. But everybody needs to watch Pennsylvania so closely. A court decision has just allowed them to have 3 more days to count the votes after the election. So Pennsylvania could be like Florida was in 2000, and where this really drags out in the courts.
So the big lie that Joe Biden was caught out with was saying, I've never said I'm against fracking. James?
Well, he said put it on the website, and he did, so roll the tape.
Any place for fossil fuels, including coal and fracking, in a Biden administration?
No, we would work it out. We would make sure it's eliminated and no more subsidies for either one of those. I guarantee we're going to end fossil fuel. No new fracking.
I'd gradually move away from fracking.
And I think it's critically important on day one that we end any fossil fuel leases on public lands.
What about, say, stopping fracking and stopping pipeline infrastructure?
They want to do the same thing I want to do. They want to phase out fossil fuels, and we're going to phase out fossil fuels.
I mean, unbelievable.
Doesn't this remind you, though? I mean, like a lot of people said, this could be like the May election we had in Australia last year. This sounds so much like Bill Shorten did, where he was trying to act like he was for coal and for mining and all of that, and then he would go and talk to the inner city people in Sydney and Melbourne. Oh, no, we're all very environmental. We're going to get rid of that Green New Deal and all of that. And nobody believed him because he was trying to have a bet each way. Same thing happening here. Biden, Shorten, same thing.
Well, they never Garapan ang pagkasinungaling, hindi ba po?
Oo, grabe.
Sabi niya pa, roll the tape, get the tape. Sabi, hinahamon niya pa si Trump. Ito, lumabas sa tape. Huling-huli siya nagsisinungaling, hindi lang minsan. Tuloy-tuloy.
Tuloy-tuloy. Tsaka marami po siyang, sa debating yun, marami po siyang sinabi na parang grabe, alanganin. The key is though, yung sinasabi nilang, can I change my vote? Was the most searched term daw sa Google right after the debate. Tapos yung mismong location was Pennsylvania po.
Ang pinakamalaki.
Pennsylvania po, yun ang ano ni Biden.
Hawak niya yun eh. No?
So hindi ko alam. So sabi nga nila, based on the numbers, yung based on the polls daw, yung numbers po ni Trump sa Pennsylvania ngayon is much closer than it was in 2016.
Kasi mas lamang na lamang sila kay Trump noong 2016
sa Pennsylvania.
Pero ngayon, halos pantay na sila. No? Ang gusto ko yung balikan. No? Kaya po natin pinapakita to. Hindi naman kami boboto sa Amerika eh. No? I'm sure marami pong nakikinig sa atin nagtitimbot-acti sa Amerika eh. Some might be listening to us from the U.S., but the reason we're saying this is because any one of these two men will become president of the United States, the most powerful country in the world. Now, you will have to look at their moral turpitude, yung kanilang integridad tungkol dito sa mga pagpapalakad sa gobyerno at sa mga iba-ibang issues. Para makita mo talaga kung ito yung tao. Hindi naman sa salita-salita at merong pruweba na makikita ng tao kung totoo nga itong isa, sinungaling ba to o hindi. That is why we're saying, baka sabihin nyo, kinakampanya namin si Trump, not necessarily. Ang sinasabi lang namin, nakakatakot po kung si Biden ang manalo. Hindi naman kami boboto kay Trump eh. Pero nakakatakot po kung ganyang klaseng tao ang mananalo at mamuno sa most powerful country in the world, most powerful militarily. Para mo na lang hindi ko lang kung tamang analogy to, pero para mong binigay yung armas, ang pinaka-powerful na weapon sa buong mundo sa isang sinungaling na gangster. Imbes na sa isang tao na ibang paningin sa mundo. So, kung bibigyan mo ng pinaka-powerful weapon, isang gangster, isang sinungaling, isang goon, pedophile, ay nako, kung makita nyo pa itong mga ibang darating na impormasyon, pinag-uusapan namin nito grabe, no? Grabe talaga. Yung klaseng taong yan, kriminal po yan. Ang pinakamasamang klaseng kriminal. Tapos sa kanya mo bibigay the most powerful weapon in the world.
Right. No? Delikado.
Delikado talaga. No? And this is what, it's really scary. Because whatever happens there will determine whether we will be in a position to recover our country, to continue to develop our country.
Isa pa yan. I can't help but related to the Philippine context. None of our sabihin na natin wannabe presidential candidates are discussing these things. They have no idea kung ano yung nangyayari sa US and the implications to the Philippines. Akala lang nila, parang showbiz, Na pag binoto sila, okay na, nandyan na ako, nakaupo na ako sa Malacanang. Hindi nila iniisip as a statesman, as a world leader, that you have to look outside your own borders and see, because that can result in a lot of things, problems and challenges for your own country and your people. If there's problems in the Middle East, yung OFWs natin. If there's problems in the US, security and safety, may problema tayo because may kalaban yan sa China and Russia and all. Paano yung ekonomiya natin? Wala sa mga gustong maging presidente o hinahype ng mga oligarko at media, wala silang alam sa ganyan. Wala, parang hindi sila nag-aaral ng ganyan. Hindi nila nakikita yung importance of seeing what's happening in the world and where we can position and what are the implications on us, because you have to prepare. You prepare your economy. Hindi ho tayo nakatira sa isang, although 7,000 islands tayo, hindi naman tayo sa isang pulo na walang makaka-apekto sa atin. Nandun man tayo sa isang island. Tapos tayo na bahala.
The Philippines is not the world. Although the world is not the Philippines.
Right.
Kasi yung mga iba, hanggang dito lang tayo sa Pilipinas. Parang buong mundo, ito na yung Pilipinas.
Yes.
No? So the Philippines is not the world and the world is not the Philippines. We are part
of a global
community. No?
Kasi mga kritiko sa atin dati, alala mo, Chairman, they would say, ba't kayo nag-uusap about other countries? Dapat yung mga Pilipino lang. Yung mga issue lang dapat natin dito sa Pilipinas ang pinapag-usapan natin. Para sa Pilipino lang muna. Eh yun na nga.
Yan ang gagawa. Ganyan ang...
diba? Yan ang pag-iisip.
Kulang sa appreciation sa mga nangyayari.
You have to see what's outside to see how you can improve your own house.
Tsaka nakikita nyo na po, pinapakailaman tayo ng mga nasa mga dayuhan. Yan si mga George Soros na yan. Di ba po? Na nakikialam siya dito, nakikialam siya sa election, nakikialam siya sa human rights, kasi itong human rights daw yan. Dahil itong si Duterte, hindi sumasang-ayon dito sa kanilang kagustuhan tungkol sa drugs. Yeah. Itong mga sa human rights, gusto nila ma-legalize daw ang drugs. Eh si Duterte sabi na walang drugs. No? Ayaw nila yon. Ilang beses, maski na si Leni Robredo, nagsabi na siya na gusto niyang mag-legalize ng drugs. Yan mga yan, no? Mga bata ni George Soros yan, sila Sonny Trillanes, sila Gascon ng human rights, si Leni Robredo. Ang pumupondo dyan sa mga yan, si George Soros eh.
Ang hindi pa na lumalabas, ang close connection ng mga komunista, kaliwa, with the Liberal Party people, the network.
Yes.
And the close connection between all of these and the funders through different organizations po, kung saan galing. At makikita po natin, pag gumawa tayo ng isang chart, papunta, may pustahan po tayo, pupunta rin yan kay George Soros. Kasi yun ang ginagawa niya sa buong mundo. Yan, yung mga Black Lives Matter, Antifa, mga komunista yan. Mga Marxists, communists, who's funding them? Eh bakit iba dito? Diba? Meron tayong nakikita ngayon sa ating news about this grabe, itong si Colonel, is it Colonel Parlade?
No,
General Parlade, yung kanyang stance against communism. Tama lang naman yun, di ba? Tapos sinasabi niya sa mga artista, mag-ingat kayo dyan sa Gabriela, mag-ingat kayo dyan sa mga anak bayan, lahat ng pinopondohan.
Mga communist.
Ang sinasabi ng mga media naman, dati yung ABS-CBN, protektado nila yung mga front communists. Okay? Tapos demonyo yung mga militar. the military this general, specifically this Valdes, has come out and said, we are defending the state against the threat of this communism. Then they will say red tagging. Hindi po red tagging kung inaamin nyo komunista kayo. Kung ang roots nyo, ang prinsipyo nyo, lumabas na komunista. Why are you shy about it? Sabihin na komunista kayo. Totoo naman eh.
Ba't nyo pa tinatago?
Ba't nyo pa tinatago? Nagpapaganyan-ganyan pa kayo? Huwag na.
Tsaka gusto nyong mamuno o pumunta sa gobyerno at mamuno. Ibaba nyo yung mga baril nyo at mag-participate kayo sa eleksyon. Huwag kayong mahawak ng baril tapos human rights, meron kayong baril. Paano naman yan? Buti na mention mo yan, Itos. Kasalukuyan tinatawagan po natin si General Paglade para maging panauhin natin sa isang Zoom meeting sa darating na linggo by next week. No? Abangan nyo po, makikita nyo po kasi every Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday naman po after ngayon ng ating programa. No? Abangan nyo po at makakapanayan po natin siya. At tatanungin po namin ang mga gusto nating itanong sa kanyang mga pahayag. No? Kasi napakatapang po niya, no? At siya po yata ang namamahala ngayon ng ating sandatahang Pilipinas laban sa NPA. No?
Ang gusto ko lang isingit po, Chairman, with your indulgence. You know, ang komunista po, pag binasa nyo po yung manifesto nila, pag binasa nyo po yung kanilang gustong mangyari, how can you support that kind of government? They are going to take down, and the means in which they do it is revolution. Gusto nila magrevolusyon yung mga masa against yung mga tinatawag nilang elite. Hindi po yun ang sagot. So you have a situation where our armed forces of the Philippines who are sworn to defend the republic from all threats, foreign and domestic. You have this threat. Itong mga taga-Congress na ayaw aminin na komunista sila. Pero alam naman ng lahat ng tao komunista sila. Saan sila galing? Saan sila nag-training? Saan po sila, ano pang binabasa nila? Saan yung history po nila? Makikita po natin yan. Dapat nga, isiwalat lahat yan eh.
Sa recruitment po, gustong-gusto po ng mga komunista na pabagsak ang ekonomiya at marami pong naghihirap. Kasi doon sila kumukuha ng mga suporta at mga dinadala nila sa kanilang NPA.
Yes.
At kasi hirap eh. At ang sasabihin nila, kanya-ganyan ang buhay nyo dahil sa mayayaman. Ngayon, kanya gusto nila sad-sad yung ating ekonomiya. Kanya ang sinasabi ko lang ulit kay Presidente Duterte, etong Article 12, Section 17-18, tayo lang po ang nagtutulak nito. Ang mga komunista po, ayaw nila yan. Kasi alam nila at naiintindihan nila na pag itinulak mo itong Article 12, Section 17 and 18, no? Aangat ang buhay ng taong bayan. No? At pag umangat ang buhay ng taong bayan, mahihirapan sila mag-recruit para sa kanilang mga NPA. No? Kanya po, tingnan nyo. Biro mo, ang kalaban natin dito, oligarko. Oligarko na may hawak ng public utilities. Iisipin mo na itong mga komunista, sasapi sila dyan. Pero iniiwasan nila. Bakit po? Dalawa. Kasi itong mga oligarko, binabayaran din sila para hindi sila manggulo sa kanilang mga negosyo. Protection racket kasi yan eh. Tapos yung pangalawa naman, no? Yun nga sinasabi ko, aangat ang buhay ng tao kung tatanggalin mo yung oligarko. Yung mga komunista, ayaw nila yan. Kaya hindi nila kinakalaban ng oligarko dahil kumikita sila sa oligarko. Lahat ng mga towers ng telecommunication, lahat ng mga power generation systems, lahat ng mga transmission lines, ganyan, negosyo nila. So anong ginagawa nila? Sasabihin nila sa oligarko, papasabugin namin yan. O, babayad ngayon yung oligarko. Pinagkikitaan. So in a way, kakontsaba na nila. Naiintindihan niyo po kung bakit maski itong mga komunista ayaw nilang itulak ito. Kasi pag tinulak natin ito, no, mawawala din yung negosyo nila. Ng mga komunista.
Yeah. There are allied left groups. But pati yung mga sinasabi nilang Abu Sayyaf, yung mga ganon, isang network po yan. Okay, this is funded by the same network. Okay, they fund it through operations like that, yung parang mafia, na extortion, but they also have drugs, they have human trafficking. Okay? Nakikita po natin yan. Remember, may nahuli si Satur ba yun? Diba? At yung may daladalang mga bata. Oh. Bakit? Ba't ang dami lang kasamang bata? Nawala yung mga magulang. Saan nila dadalhin yun? Diba?
Dinadala nila sa libliban para ma-indoctrinate nila.
Ma-indoctrinate. So then they become the new rebels. Yan, lumalabas na ganyan. Nabe-brainwash po sila. Bakit nila ginagawa yan?
Ganyan po ang estilo ng mga terorista, hindi po ba?
Yes.
Yung mga ISIS,
yes.
No?
Mga nangingidnap ng mga bata.
Nangingidnap ng mga bata, tuturuan sila ng kung ano-ano. Tapos ipapasok sa utak nila na kinakailangan pumatay sila ng sundalo, yung mga ganyan. No? Ganyan din po. Wala pong pinagkaiba. That's why they're called terrorist
and then, itong groups. Si General Parlade, alam po niya yan.
Kabisado niya yan.
Kapisado niya yan. Tapos, yung mga media, pinoprotektahan pa. Yung mga, sabi nila, masama daw yun, red tagging. Tanong mo sila kanila kung komunista sila. Tanong mo po yung Gabriela. Tanong niyo po yung, di ba? Nasa Kongreso na silang lahat. Human rights daw, pero communist.
That's why, Mr. President, you can see how important this Article 12, Section 17, 18 is. Yan.
Yeah.
Please, tignan niyo po yan. No? At sana po, pigilin niyo na po itong pagtatanggap ng mga kabinete niyo ng mga pera, ng mga oligarko. Dahil sa amin pong palagay, yung mga kabinete nyo, mga bata-bata din ng mga oligarko. Kaya hindi ka siguro makakilos. Yan taong bayan po, susuportahan po kayo.
Oo, talaga.
Dito.
Talaga. Okay, we have 20 minutes left. You want to read There's one more video about the business partner of Biden. If you want to go into that. Or maybe next time.
Sige.
How long is that video, Roxanne? Yung sa huli, pinakahuli? 7 minutes.
Sige, kay Biden. Ito
sige.
pang isang video, dahil malapit na po yung election, dapat po malaman nyo. Itong Biden, yung pong anak niya, si Hunter Biden, itong inakusahan na may mga ginawang pera para meron silang parang racket ng kanyang tatay. Sabi niya sa anak niya, punta ka doon, humingi ka ng pera doon para gusto nila akong makilala, no? Tapos tulungan ko sila, tapos makikita tayo dyan. Parang racket po, no? May connection anak mo yun no? So yun ang ginagawa nito sa bansang Ukraine, Russia,
Kazakhstan.
tsaka Kazakhstan,
China.
at saka sa China. Tingnan niyo po itong balita
Ito, hindi. It's a business partner of Hunter kasi po yung laptop niya,
oo.
di ba, na naging possession ng FBI, ng certain people. Ito yung mga hinahanap niya. Ngayon, itong business partner niya dati, remember po si Joe Biden, sabi niya, wala akong kinalaman dyan sa mga negosyo ng anak ko. Hands off ako dyan kasi vice-presidente ako. Yung sa laptop, lumalabas na siya mismo ang nagganyan sa anak niya na durugista, di ba? Ngayon, itong business partner, dating business partner ni Hunter Biden, yung anak ni Joe Biden, lumabas na. At ito po yung statement niya.
Zelensky is talking to the media right now.
Armed forces. Since leaving the Navy, I've been involved in various successful businesses, both in this country and abroad. I'm making this statement to set the record straight about the involvement of the Biden family, Vice President Biden, his brother Jim Biden, and his son Hunter Biden, in dealings with the Chinese. I've heard Joe Biden say that he's never discussed business with Hunter. That is false. I have first-hand knowledge about this because I directly dealt with the Biden family, including Joe Biden. I have also heard that Vice President Biden said on Tuesday that Senator Ron Johnson, the chair of the Senate Homeland Security Committee, should be ashamed for suggesting that Biden family sought to profit from their name. Well, here are the facts I know, and everything I'm saying is corroborated by emails, WhatsApp chats, agreements, documents, and other evidence. And the American people can judge for themselves. I brought, I guess, for record, 3 phones that spanned the years 2015 through 2018. These phones have never been held by anybody else besides myself. I was told this past Sunday by somebody who was also involved in this matter that if I went public this information, it would bury all of us, man. The Bidens included. I have no wish to bury anyone. I've never been political. The few contributions I have made have been to Democrats. But what I am is a patriot and a veteran. To protect my family name and my business reputation, I need to ensure that the true facts are out there. In late 2015, I was approached by James Gilliar, whom I had known for many years, about joining him in a deal which he said would involve the Chinese state-owned enterprise CEFC China Energy and what he called one of the most prominent families in the United States. I was informed first by Gilliar and then by Hunter Biden and by Rob Walker, who was working with the Bidens, that the Bidens wanted to form a new entity with CFC, which was to invest in infrastructure, real estate, and technology in the U.S. and around the world. And the entity would initially be capitalized with $10 million and then grow to billions of dollars of investment capital. After months of discussion, I agreed at Gilliar and Hunter Biden's request to become CEO of the entity to be called Sinohawk. Sino representing the Chinese side, Hawk representing Hunter Biden's brother Beau's favorite animal. And between February and May 2017, we exchanged numerous emails, documents, and WhatsApp messages concerning Sinohawk and its potential business. On May 2nd, 2017, the night before Joe Biden was to appear at the Milken Conference, I was introduced to Joe Biden by Jim Biden and Hunter Biden. At my approximately hour-long meeting with Joe that night, we discussed the Biden's history, the Biden's family business plans with the Chinese, with which he was plainly familiar, at least at a high level. After that meeting, I had numerous communications with Hunter, Walker, Gilliar, and Jim Biden regarding the allocation of the equity ownership of Sinohawk. On May 13, 2017, I received an email concerning allocation of equity, which says 10% held by H for the big guy. In that email, there's no question that H stands for Hunter, big guy for his father, Joe Biden. and Jim for Jim Biden. In fact, Hunter often referred to his father as the big guy or my chairman. On numerous occasions, it was made clear to me that Joe Biden's involvement was not to be mentioned in writing, but only face-to-face. In fact, I was advised by Gillier and Walker that Hunter and Jim Biden were paranoid about keeping Joe Biden's involvement secret. I also had a disagreement with Hunter about the funds CFC was contributing to Sinohawk. Hunter wanted $5 million of those funds to go to himself and his family, so he wanted the funds wired directly to an entity affiliated with him. I objected because that was contrary to our written agreements concerning Sinohawk. He said, referring to the chairman, his father, that CFC was really investing in the Biden family, that he held the Trump card, and that he was the one putting his family legacy on the line. He also said to me on May 17th, 2017, that CFC wanted to be my partner, to be partner with the Bidens. During these negotiations, I repeated to Hunter and others that Sinohawk could not be Hunter's personal piggy bank. And I demanded that proper corporate governance procedures be implemented for capital distributions. Hunter became very upset with me. CFC through July 2017 was assuring me the funds would be transferred to Sinohawk, but they were never sent to our company. Instead, I found out from Senator Johnson's September report that the $5 million was sent in August 2017 to entities affiliated with Hunter. Tomorrow, I will be meeting with the Senate committee members concerning this matter, and I will be providing to the FBI the devices which contain the evidence corroborating what I have said. So I will not be taking any questions at this time. I will not be taking questions at this time.
We're going to ask them anyway. Can you tell us a little bit more about this evidence that you're giving to the FBI?
The evidence sits on these 3 phones. I don't want to go into anything any further. This will all be discussed with Senator Johnson and his committee, and the American people can decide what's fact.
Who paid for you to be here?
All right, that is Tony Boblinski, a retired lieutenant in the U.S. Navy and the CEO of Sinohawk Holdings, just talking to the media moments ago. Wrapping that up, he is going to be talking to Senate members tomorrow as an investigation does continue into Hunter Biden and his international dealings. So
you saw that news report? This guy was a ex-business partner of Biden. Kasi po, ang sinasabi po ni Joe Biden at ni Hunter, wala daw silang ginagawang kalokohan, wala silang ginagawang negosyo, hindi niya ginagamit yung posisyon niya pagka vice-presidente para magnegosyo o yumaman. Pero yun ang sabi ni Chairman, ginagamit niya si Hunter pang siya yung una, ito yung gagawin natin para magkapera tayo.
Ang crime po dyan is treason.
Yeah.
Treason po yan, wala akong duda. No? At can you imagine po, no? A presidential candidate, let us say he does not win. No? Let us say he will be reelected. But definitely cases are going to be filed against him. No?
Yeah.
And I am almost sure no, he will be indicted for treason.
Yes.
And, you know, I don't know, that's maximum penalty sa Amerika yan.
Oo, kasi betraying your country.
You're betraying your country. No?
So,
yan po ang ating, yan po ang ina-expect na tabayanan po natin.
So yung witness na yun, papadala niya yung ebidensya niya, sabi niya lahat ng ebidensya sa statement niya, backed up by a lot of evidence, bibigyan niya sa Senate Investigation Committee, sila na po bahala. So makikita po natin the coming week siguro yun. So,
pang maraming alam itong si Boblinski,
yes.
Ito yung parang kabarkada ni Hunter Biden
sa isang
na negosyante at ginamit niya para tulungan siya pagpapaayos nitong mga negosyong to. Nakonsensya itong si Boblinski dahil
or nakita niya
na talagang
medyo
nakawan ng tapos pag-traidor sa bansang Amerika, no? Sundalo po 'yun no? Siguro na konsensya talaga pagta-traidor sa bansa, no?
Okay. So we have a couple of minutes left, but we'll try to go through all the reactions po, ha? Magandang gabi po sa mga mag-amang magigiting na iniidolo ko. Salamat po. Mabuti na lang po minsan napapakinig ng anak ko kayo ng isang beses habang naghahanda ng hapunan namin. Alam po ninyo, sabi sa akin, ang alam ko, hindi magandang pangulo si US, si Trump. Maganda pala ang layunin niya sa Amerika at sa buong mundo. Magandang gabi po at sumaatin ang pagpapala ng poong may kapal.
Kanino galing yon? Walang pangalan.
Text
lang.
Okay.
Maraming salamat po.
Okay, this is also the text, so walang mga names pa. Ang SAP second tranche ay bigay sa amin ng mga PWD at senior citizen ng gobyernong Duterte. Ito lamang po ang amin na naasahan sa aming mga bayarin at pangangailangan ng mga tulad namin dito. At ito ang pinangako ng ating President Rodrigo Roa Duterte. Huwag nyo na kaming pahirapan at paasahin sapagkat ito ay pera din na namin mga mamamayan ng Pilipinas, PWD and senior ng Barangay San Manuel, Dasmariñas City of Cavite. Tama. Yun na nga, Presidente Duterte, do not... nako. Vic Valparaiso, magandang gabi po Sir Butch and Sir Ito sa ating Katipunan. Sotero Aquino, magandang gabi, Dean Butch Valdes. Anthony Marbella, good evening po mga idol. Ruben Franco, good evening, watching from Melbourne. Motion Science, good evening po. Ron Bintulan. Oy, si Ron, kaibigan natin yan. Good evening mga idol. Cherry Lit, good evening po sa inyo. God bless. Irhin Ponso Granado, gandang gabi po. Erlinda Esmabe Garcia, mabuhay mag-ama ito sa Butch Valdes. God bless and stay safe. God bless po. Jose Peros Oco, good evening mga sir from Abu Dhabi, UAE. Biden is a pathological liar. North Korea din mga sir, he made peace. Correct. You're correct. You're talking about Trump.
That's right. Si Trump made peace with North Korea.
Ruben Franco, President Trump favors cure for COVID over vaccine. No, he does not exclude vaccine. My question, do you think PRRD shares the same mindset as Trump?
Alam niyo po, sa palagay ko, hindi no? Dahil ang mindset ni PRRD ay siya rin mindset ni Duque.
Yeah.
Si Duque, utos-utosan ng WHO, no?
Yes.
Sunod-sunuran lang siya. Si Trump, alam niyo po, galit yan sa WHO. Tinanggal nga ang contribution ng Amerika sa WHO dahil may duda siya sa mga intensyon nitong mga ito sa WHO. Ang contribution po ng US sa WHO every year is $500 million, no? Tinanggal po ni Trump yan dahil may duda siya sa WHO. Kanya po, siguro iba yung kay PRD tsaka kay Trump tungkol dito.
Alain Teslonet. Gandang gabi po sa inyo, Sir Butch at Sir Ito. Mabuhay po lahat sa mga Katipunero. Wash hands, wash hands, wash hands. Freddy Oredina, mail-in includes illegal migrants to vote. Correct. Heavy metal ballot boxes found in trash. Correct. Yun ang hindi namin nabanggit kanina, yung mail-in po, kahit hindi kayo citizen, papadala kayo ng boto. Diyos ko. Ben Danay, may binanggit din si Biden tungkol sa Operation Dark Winter. Nako, yun nga, tama. Yun ang something we could have talked about, but maybe next week. Rodvite Periarabas, good evening Sir Butch. Sir Itos, mabuhay Katipunan. Kawawa naman itong dalawang artista na maganda. Ginamit lang ng oligarko yung isa. Itinulak sa front ng NPA terrorist na Gabriela. Watching you from Zubik, Zambales. Yes, but that's what they do.
Ito nga gagamit ng mga ganyang klase ang komunista. Ang importante, wag silang magpapagamit.
Yes,
no?
yes.
Kasi pag ginamit sila ng Gabriela, sunod-sunuran sila dito, ay masasangkot sila dyan sa Gabriela. Kaya sinasabi po ng mga pahayag ni General Parlade, huwag kayong sasama, huwag kayong papagamit, no? Para hindi kayo masangkot.
Yes. Cesar Soberano, the stakes are really high in November elections because the survival interests of the deep state, the military, industrial, financial complex, and the swamp have been earth-shaken by Trump. The Dems are apparently dying to deny a Trump election and will resort to violence. You know, Cesar, that's in a nutshell, in 2 sentences, you summed it up. Correct. Fatima Usi, tama po kayo. Sana lahat ng tao makapanood ng programa nyo para mabuksan ng kaisipan ng mga Pilipino at malaking din ang mga laro ng corrupt na malaking din ang mga laro ng mga corrupt na politiko. Tama po, we should extend our reach, and yung mga kaibigan nyo po, sabihin nyo manood every week. Marami pong discussion. Ernie Ocampo, good evening po sa inyong mga Sir Itos and Sir Butch. Good evening also to Sir RJ Havellana. Mabuhay ang KDP. Mabuhay ka, Ernie. Margie Mabayad, napanood ko po ang debate nila last Friday dito sa Hong Kong. Nilampaso siya ni Trump. Halatang nagsisinungaling si Biden na ito. Correct. Alfredo Redina, troops from Afghanistan be home on Christmas time, said Trump. James Mattis was angry when Trump pulled out troops from Syria.
That's right.
Yes, last week we had Colonel Black, right? Or 2 weeks ago, we had Colonel Black. Nene Maming, pagka nanalo si Biden, mas mapapasama ang buong mundo. Ingat po tayo lahat dahil lalo na sa panahon ngayon. God bless us all. Correct. RJ Havellana, ka-RJ mabuhay. See you Tuesday po sa Talakayang Bayan with RJ. Motion Science, Obama, Peace Prize po. PISS. Dario Padilla, buenas tardes, señores, padre, hijo, Americans in Europe, ang mga controller sa lahat ng nangyayari sa mundo, sa mga price at mga gera nila. Responsible kasi yan kanilang negosyo. Correct. Yan po ang pinipigilan ni Trump ngayon. Ace Kinol Morillo, Saudi na lang ang hinihintay. Correct.
Padating na po yan sa Saudi.
Malapit na. Alfredo Redina, including talks with North Korea. Good thing, not a bad thing, said Trump. Biden daw ang mananalo sa interview kay Roland Simbulan ng UP. Nako, binugbog ko sa comment. Puro MSNBC ang CNN ang source. Ang tawa nila kay Gonzalo this morning. I know Professor Simbulan. Nako.
Kaya problema sa atin, nakatutok tayo sa CNN, saka yun ang katotohanan natin, di ba?
Yes, yun ang alam lang natin.
Yun ang ginagawa po tayong mangmang. At kung hindi tayo maghahanap at mag-check at mag-verify, siyempre, kamang mga nangaabutan natin.
Right. Oring Book, anak ko nasa Texas, ang galing daw talaga ni Trump. Magaling talaga. And he's bringing back manufacturing to the United States. He's bringing back industry. Yung dapat natin gawin dito para bumalik na lahat ng OFW natin. Benvenido Lorque, mabuhay kayong dalawa, Butch and Valdes. Mabuhay po kayo. Rain, mga sir, pag nanalo yan si Biden bilang presidente, magbibigay siya ng libreng bakuna sa COVID sa buong mundo. Trump, ex-Biden hunter. Alfredo Redina, Biden said Antifa and Black Lives Matter ID as not an organization and supports riots and defund the police. Yes, fracking is a process under our reserves. Again, makikita natin sinungaling si Biden, daming ebidensya. Jose Perez Oco, diehard supporter ako ni PRRD pero si Dennis Soya isang bagong oligarko. Mukhang malapit sa kusina yan. Kamusta naman si Ramonan San Mig Corp, ang Ayala, si Pangilinan? Ano na, mukhang naman manipula ng mga kabal utak ni Tatay Digong.
Yun nga ang nakakatakot, no? Kaya antabayanan po natin, no? Yan po mga pangalan na sinabi nyo, mga oligarko yan at lugmok talaga sa kuryente, sila nagpapatakbo at sila ang malalaking oligarko.
Charlie Alandoni, right, Trump is a great leader. Kaso lang liberal ang bumabanat na pinagtutulungan nila si Trump. Tulad din ni PRRD, pati mainstream media kalyado ng anti-government. Correct. Gimel Tanduyan Galsote, Sir, may haka-haka na pag nanalo si Trump mas mag-aalsa daw ang makakaliwa. If Biden will win, he will intervene the Philippines. If Biden will win, gera tayo. Sigurado yan. Lynn Rose Pasete, good evening po Sir Butch at Sir Ritos. Ay, kwento ko po sa kanya habang naghapunan kami na si Biden ay marami kasing nungalingan. Sagot niya, hindi si Trump. Full of lies. Watching po dito sa Malaysia. Ingat kayo.
Lynn Rose.
Rain. Sir Butch, balik DZXL na. Para makarinig kami ng phone calls ang bibigay opinion.
Okay.
Soon. Ramon Gonzalez, magandang gabi po, protection tax or revolutionary tax. Tama po, panahon ni Pinoy, hinakot ng China ang piso. Pinalitan ng petsa, kaya kinakalawang. Manuel Eda, Sir Prof. Buchanitos, to make it simpler, it's a battle of good and evil. It will never end. Let's pray for somebody up there for the rescue. Mary J. Dang, Biden has lots of hidden dark agenda. Could you imagine if he becomes president? I think Trump will retain. Why can't they accept the fact that Trump has a lot of achievements? Ramon Gonzalez, si Pacquiao, oligarchs din po?
Hindi naman si Pacquiao, hindi siya oligarko, siyempre. Siyempre kinita niya yung kita po natin kung paano niyang kinita ang kanyang kayamanan. Okay, hanggang dyan na lang po tayo. Marami pong salamat at sa ngalan po ng ating mga katipon dito at sa ating katipunan at sa mga magagaling na staff ng DCXL Radio, yung meron po tayong simulcast na kami po ay pansamantalang nagpapaalam at nagpapasalamat na sinamahan nyo kami ngayon ng Ora de Peligro ng ating bayan at ng buong mundo dito po sa ating katipunan. Hanggang sa linggo pong muli, mga katipon, 7 to 9 p.m. Magandang gabi po sa inyong lahat.